everybody. Hi, I'm seeing whiskey. This is sounding promising. Let me say hi to everybody. Sylvia, Be Reasonable, Namhar, Francis, Hoan, Maddie, Ophelia, Jan, Cosmos, JR, the Bio Explorer, Pink Crystal, Joanna, Darren, Bangluna, Tracy, Joanna, Robin, Sinri, Darren, Ann, Angel Star, Halina, Rose Splendor, Robin, Tisa, Han, Shelling, Elaine, Cindy, Arlene, Kathleen, Layla, Soul 7, Z, Rachel, Melanie, Ticketmaster Socks. I absolutely agree. Nada, Dodger Girl. Eve, Namhar, Anna, Marianne, T Style, The Bio Explorer, Marie Lucas, Monine or Monine, Yvette, Rhoda Denron, Ophelia, Owensky, Manuela, Nikon Lady, Mela, Leila, Jan, Me Too, Hoan. I No, I actually did not secure a ticket. I'm just happy that it was sold out. Drummer Squirrel, Katie, Farah, Joanna, Callie, MJ, Juan, Carla, Girls, Spring Day, NC, Future's Gonna Be Okay, Jeremy, Dawn, Val, CJ, Mickey, Azima, Carol, Annoyed, I am annoyed, Miso Soup, A, Jean, X, Imperfect Parent, Danielle, V Heart, BTS Mommy, Ophelia, Mary Rose, Sylvia, myself, Hand Painted Paints, Janice, Leah, Rachel, Ann. Okay. I actually didn't get a single ticket. On in my Patreon. I was going through anxiety real time. So I was late 5 minutes to log in because I was in the middle of it was in the middle of the day at work. So I was late and I was what was it? I think I was number 90,000 when I first posted on Patreon. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm never going to get tickets." And so by that time I was like, "Oh, whatever. I'll just do my best." So as promised, I tried to secure tickets for just for everybody else because I'm in LA, so that's what I really wanted. But I was trying to secure tickets for armies so that we don't just those that won't be able to get their tickets, I will resell it at cost. So that was my goal. And I was ready. My credit card was already saved. I had my army number, my membership number. I was ready with everything. And then nothing. It was just sold out. And I kept on refreshing, kept on re entering, nothing. It was sold out. So I tried 2 days in New York and it was sold out. And then I went to Chicago, sold out both days, sold out. So I was like, oh gosh. But next chance is LA. So that's what I'm going to be trying again. I hope I get it this time. But so we somebody here was brilliant enough with she came up with an idea to that person, say okay if it's okay for me to mention your name. So just say okay and I'll know. If you can include a purple heart, then I would know that you're saying okay. So okay, so it's Bang Luna. Bang Luna came up with a great idea that I should have thought of. My God, you guys are really, really smart. So she bought a suite. She bought a suite in Texas for 1 day. And so that suite actually had 16 tickets. And of course, she was going to use two for her and for her whoever she's going to be bringing with her. So she had like 14 to dispose. So we posted on Patreon, and I guess some people I already messaged that they got it. So 16 tickets, and then there were several parkings available, which it was going to be like first come first serve basis. But I thought it was a brilliant, brilliant idea. Actually, let me show you guys, because it was just fantastic. I mean, I should have thought of this before because it was just I don't know what how else to describe it except brilliant. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay, Bang Luna, you're going to get a lot of messages. To everybody who I messaged on Patreon, saying that Bang Luna already confirmed that she has your tickets reserved. She has your tickets reserved. I think she's just waiting for something before she messages you, but she already has your contact number. So just wait for her, and she will message you. Everybody who's giving me their email and other contact numbers, I'm passing it on to her. I just didn't want her to be overwhelmed. She was already coordinating with the venue. So I know that can be overwhelming already. So I was helping her, like, just coordinate with people that were going to, who wanted to get the ticket. But it was like, um, I thought it was a good idea because number one, you're comfortable, you have your own space there. And when you get a suite, you actually have your own VIP entrance. Um, and then you have, she has some parking. So I thought, like, if you don't want, if you're not really, if you don't want to go through the hassle of everything, then I think getting a suite is actually a brilliant idea. So she had 16. So she, like, it was first come first serve. Whenever somebody sends me a message, I just send it to her. So I think she keeps a record of who those were, and then she would just tell me, like, okay, I have four left or whatever. So and so props to her. And so I thought maybe that's the way, moving forward, we'll try to get like a suite engine and then just sell that. The problem is if it is like a huge venue like Allegiant or like SoFi, for example, and I'm going to assume that that's where BTS is going to have their concert, you do need to know already somebody in there. Like for season pass holders, they are probably going to be the ones to secure that venue. So I'm trying to ask around, like for SoFi, is there, and like Allegiant, for sure they're going to go to those two events for sure, right? I don't know. But that's the way. Our suite was 17K, Annoyed said. I'm not really sure how much the suite was that Bang Luna got, but she didn't even like earn anything. She really just sold it at cost. She just made sure that she got her money back, and so she didn't make any money. So I don't know how much. Oh, I think she showed me the ticket, but I'll leave it to her whether she wants to say how much it was. Annoyed said she sold at cost too. Um, Smart thinking, Banguna. Yeah, she's really so smart. I never thought of that. I was like, dynamic pricing is mind blowing. Yeah, so someone was posting how much they got their VIP ticket, and they, I think, like the fee was 260. It was crazy for two people. Somebody posted their the ticket price and it was like 750. So I checked in to see how much tickets were going to me, and if I had the money, it would have been 1 grand for two VIP tickets. There are That's Danji. So we got four tickets to Chicago, same section, 3 rows behind where I sat for Sugar's concert 2023. For Sugar's concert, I was in LA all dates. Day one, I was able to get into the barricade. Well, it was, so the barricade, I was behind the first line of the barricade, so it was still pretty good. Um, and then day two, I was sitting down, and then day three, I didn't get to the barricade, so I decided I was just going to move all the way to at the back of the area, the standing area, so I could see him. Because if I try to squeeze myself, I'm 5, I'm very, very short. I have no business being in GA. So I was like, I'm never, even if I bring like one of those elevator shoes, like platform shoes with like 2 feet heels, I still, I still won't see it. So I was like, okay, never mind. Because everybody else were also had that kind of pairs, like shoes. So I didn't stand a chance. So I just moved all the way to the back, and then that's where I stood for day 3. Mickey, so Fairlane, what will you do now? I'm gonna try for LA. I'm gonna try for LA, and I'm manifesting that I will get LA. I think my major error was that I came in 5 minutes late, which I mean I was talking to my boss. I couldn't like just couldn't just leave. So this time I'm going to not go to work when LA opens. So our suite, Annoyed said our suite was Sugar Day 2 New York, and we were closer than front barricade. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, sick day. Yeah, I'm gonna file a sick day. I'm just gonna pretend I have a meeting during that time. So nobody talks to me. Venues are selling out in 30 minutes. New York was 20. Yeah, so that actually after I think so. I logged in. It was 12:05 LA time, Pacific, which was 3 EST. Right around 12, like 15, 12, 20. I kind of knew I wasn't gonna get any ticket. I mean, this is BTS we're talking about. You do something stupid like that, you're not gonna get a ticket. Fairlane may be on the phone with Ticketmaster. That my secret. No, yeah. So that's I think that's what I'm going to do for the LA one. I really need to see him. So I was hoping to get like if for all days, 2 days in LA I wanted to watch, but at this rate, I'm just happy to get one. So um people get in touch with you annoyed. Okay, so this was what I saw when was able to finally get my turn. It was sold out, and then I tried re-entering several times, and it was just out. But the thing is that if you could see, his tickets were like here, so it's really sold out. It wasn't like he didn't fill the venue. It was like very small portion, just a small portion of the venue is closed naturally because it's this that's where the stage is going to be set. So this is he really filled it to the brim, and which made me very, very proud. So it sucks for me, but you know, but I'm very happy for him. And then this is Friday when I tried the next day. I tried it, it's still gone. Um, so just to make it clear for those who are trying, you do need an authentication way. Authentication. You need a US number for authentication, so you can cheat Ticketmaster unless you get a phone number, a US phone number. So that's the thing. For people in the future, do know that if you're not from the US, you will need a US phone number for authentication. Okay. Um, I just need one ticket. Sylvia said, I just need one ticket. One ticket. I'm not sleeping when they go back on tour. um, okay, now there is going to be a GP sale. So make sure that you go to just set a reminder for all venues. So it's going to be 23rd, which is tomorrow, 3 p.m. So 12 noon, I won't be in the office. I'll be working from home. So I think I might still be able to get some tickets. So there's VIP package and then GP. So I will try to get VIP package. Um, but yeah, it's so just make sure that you set a reminder and make sure that you see this note when you set a reminder to make sure that it's actually gonna work. And the other thing is just do not forget. Just don't forget that there is going to be a sale. And then of course for California, for LA, it's still not open. We don't know when it's going to open. So our office is in Encino, And this morning, all the way until the afternoon, there's a new fire that was like, so we are facing east. Our office faces east. And there was fire on that mountain. So here we go again. So I'm like, oh my God, they're never going to release this tickets if we keep on having this fire. But of course, we don't want anything bad to happen to LA anymore. All right. So this is what Bang Luna actually got. Pretty cool, right? So for those of you who actually will get a ticket from Bang Luna, this is where you guys are going to stay. So cool. It is very nice, yeah. So food is not included. I guess you guys can order. That'll be up to Bang Luna. So I guess you guys can order, or you guys can talk and just like either you get food there or not get food. But yeah, it's pretty nice, right? Hoan said I was 10,000 and I saw a few dynamic price, but I passed. That looks awesome. It does, yeah. That's why I said I think this is a really great idea. Especially, my mom is not getting any younger anymore. So I think having something like this will be great for her because she can relax and. So I'll probably try to get one. I don't know if I can still get one for California, for LA, but I'll definitely try to get one for the BTS concert. Danji said credit card. Bangluna said credit card. If you get a suite, can you do sound check? I don't know. Bangluna, can you do sound check if you get a suite? Bangluna said no. Marie Mo 9 said our Oakland suite occupancy is 16 people. Oh, it's the same for Bangluna. It's also 16. No sound check, yeah. I'm not really at this stage because I've been to so many BTS concerts, right? So I've experienced them all. All sorts of things I've experienced. So right now I'm just trying to look for like an experience that will be comfortable for my mom because as I've said, she's not getting any younger anymore. She's still very, very healthy. I just don't want to stress her out. So I think having a comfortable place like this would be perfect for her. How much the suite per person? 240 is what it came down to for Bang Luna. I think you can buy extra standing only tickets if I'll see if people are interested. That would be nice for your mom, Sylvia said. Yeah, yep. Bang Luna, Danji said, Bang Luna, you're lucky. Mine is maxed out. I have 150 left for use. I still stand by my fighting all the members and Mr. Lee for Hobie, but I think he'll understand me not going. Oh, he will perfectly understand that. That is okay. And at this stage, just start saving for BTS. Um, Marianne said hello from Australia. Hello. Hi. You can buy standing. So I hope you guys enjoy, especially those that are going to meet and have and enjoy this week. You can bond, maybe exchange some stuff, photo cards, merch. If you have something, you have multiple of something, maybe you guys can exchange merch. And just be comfortable. I mean, you're going to be with like-minded people, so perfect. Okay, if anyone has an extra, Melissa is asking if there anyone has an extra ticket. You have a joyful time. Yeah, all the tickets are gone. They're just gone. Okay. Um, but I again I will try to get something for LA and then let's see. Let's see if okay. I saw this and it was posted in our Patreon community. Just want to give people those that will be trying for LA some tips. Just make sure that you have your credit card details already saved in your Ticketmaster account. Um, and then make sure that you have your Army membership card. Make sure that you click copy so that because it's going to ask you for it. So when you log in, it's going to ask you to verify that it is your account by sending a message to your phone. And then it's going to, once you do that, you're in, they're going to ask you for your membership number, your BTS Army US membership number. So make sure that you have that already copied so that you just paste it there so that it's faster. Also, if you can have a dedicated Wi-Fi that, for that, for that alone, that would be better. um because I there were so many people on Patreon saying that they were already in and they were already processing, like looking through. Imagine you just waited like 20,000 in your there were 20,000 people ahead of you, and it's your turn, and then your internet just fails you. So um Miso Soup said that Google said I have fast Wi-Fi, but it wasn't fast all day. It wasn't fast at all today. Going to see J Hope today, Paris, and now have to go to New York for March. Wow. I don't even dream of going to a BTS concert. You have to start dreaming for it. Be reasonable. Yep, that is why. That is, oh, where's that? Um, that is why I go through PayPal. I won't put CC info on Ticketmaster. Yeah, you can also do PayPal. In case I don't get ticket, Pink Crystal said, in case I don't get tickets to Hobie's concert, I'll just save as well for BTS concert. It would be frustrating, though, to be in the same airspace as Hobie and not be able to watch him. Go to a new computer or get a fast speed thingy. Or also, it would be good to restart your computer before 12 o'clock or whatever. So it depends on where you are. But so 3 p.m. EST, before that, make sure that you reboot. That helps. Okay. And then during the sale, make sure that you have your credit card saved on Ticketmaster or you have your PayPal. um and then once you're this a lot of people were confused about this. Once you're in line and it doesn't feel like it's moving, do not refresh, because you're going to go back to the back of the line. So just wait for it. um okay, so I do agree that I think at this stage, they've this is so funny because there were so many people having a one-sided beef with J-Hope. With J Hope in the comment section of my videos and on Twitter. And then also a one sided beef against Army. So I posted a video about J Hope not booking stadiums. And they were like, oh, you're talking about Lollapalooza. He wasn't the only artist there, and he's not popular. Look at his streams, and he's not going to do this and that and whatever. And I'm like, who are these people? It's obvious that you're not a fan of J Hope. And the title of my video clearly says J Hope, and it's clearly J Hope by. So why are you? I don't understand why these people are having a one-sided beef with Hobie, and a one-sided beef against Aramis as well. So, and I got so many messages on X and on Facebook saying that they're gonna bet that J Hope won't sell out the venues, and it's going to be humiliating because Suga sold out his venue, all of his venues. And I'm like, what are these people talking about? So I was just so happy that he sold it out. I personally do not have, I never doubted, especially those that are on Patreon. You know, I've never doubted J Hope. And I've always, my complaint from the very beginning was that the venues were too small. I really felt it was too small. I thought he should have gone stadium. And I think I am right. I think he should have gone stadium. So um, I think that was like, success is the best revenge, right? Success is the best revenge. And that's why BTS is the best when it comes to revenge, because they're always successful. So I'm just so happy. um I mean, it sucks for me that I wasn't able to get tickets, but for J-Hope, I'm just so very happy that he sold it out, because it just proved everybody wrong, those haters wrong. So I'm like, I don't even have to respond to these people, because J-Hope did his thing. It's like, that's fine. No need to respond and waste my time on these people. We all knew it was going to be, Bea Bonilla said, we all knew it was going to be a massacre. Only haters doubt, but it's cause they're jealous. I know. Like, I really don't understand the one-sided beef. And many of them are like, I guess, okay, so a lot of this started because there was an article on a newspaper somewhere saying that as soon as J-Hope announced his tour, fans, those who bought tickets for concerts of other groups were trying to resell their tickets so that they can have enough money to buy the ticket of J-Hope's concert. And like, number one, nobody in Army's camp said that. It was a newspaper who said that. And I mean, Big Hit never even talked about that, never even mentioned it. So I guess a lot of these fans actually took it very, very personally. And instead of beefing with the newspaper or the journalist, they started to beef. They decided they were going to beef with armies and with J Hope. So I was like, we didn't start this conversation about people selling their tickets for other concerts of other groups. So the other thing is, a lot of the other groups that are touring, I'm actually a fan of. I'm a fan of Stray Kids. So, and I have always said I respect Stray Kids for for the hard work that they have put on their music and touring. Like, whatever the success that they are experiencing, they worked for it, right? So, and I don't want to take away from that. So I hope that fans of Stray Kids, if you are here, please don't start a one-sided beef with J-Hope or with us, because we're just here trying to get tickets to his concert and we couldn't. Okay, Pinoyon say maybe their group would be bigger if they spend time standing them instead of bugging Army and BTS. NK said, I failed to get ticks from Chicago or Oakland. I'm so sad. You know what? I hope that he will have an encore and he does a stadium. I think he will still sell it out. I mean, really, even if it's just one night or two nights, I hope he does it. Army doesn't hate Stray Kids. No, definitely. I mean, I love Stray Kids. I've watched them several times and I've made videos for them. So I just felt like this is a wrong channel to do all of these things to. Um, I was in 57 to 10Q. Oh, 57,000. Um, maybe people will have to resell later. Resell tickets. Well, I hope that they resell it at cost. I got Stray Kids sticks in LA in June. Seems silly not to appreciate multiple groups, although BTS always first in my heart. Correct. I sold 3 tickets to Armies for Suga concert, even though I lost a few hundreds. Oh wow, why? Why did you resell it at the loss? Did you hear of Ticketmaster stating that your phone number was already used? No, that has never happened to me. Thanks for trying. Did it happen to you? Thanks for trying to help me today. I'm just hopeless and did pre-registered. That of you're welcome. Okay. Um Another thing that we do need to celebrate, some didn't use Ticketmaster and it was better. Not so many were waiting for tickets. I think they went to the reseller's ticket. Jose Ochoa. Oh, really? Oh, wow. If they got their phone number, I mean, they probably have access to his bank accounts and whatever. So he needs to check. He needs to check. Like, he needs to look at that. Somebody has his SIM. If they have his phone number, somebody has his SIM, and they're probably sending confirmation there and two-factor authentication. He needs to have that checked. Because, by gosh. Okay. The other thing that we need to Um, the other thing that we need to celebrate is Jimin. It is his 25th week in Billboard Hot 100 for Who. So he is now tied for the third longest charting song by a Korean native in Billboard Hot 100. He is tied with Cupid's 50/50. And above him, he's only bested by two. Those are Gangnam Style by Psy and his own group Dynamite. Dynamite has 32 weeks. Just below, on fourth place is Butter by BTS, Baby Shark by Pink Fong, and then One of the Girls by The Weeknd featuring Lily Rose Depp and Jenny. And then number five is Standing Next to You by Jungkook, 19 weeks. 17 weeks is My Universe by BTS, Left and Right by Jungkook. And then number seven, 15 weeks, again, Jungkook featuring Laro this time, seven. And I'm a Gentleman by Psy. And then 10 weeks, Mic Drop by BTS. 9 weeks, Jungkook again, 3D featuring Jack Harlow. And 8 weeks, Boy with Love, BTS featuring Halsey and Ice Cream um, by Blackpink and Selena Gomez. So I hope that we can give Jimin one more week. If we can just continue streaming, it would be great to give him 26 weeks, and then let's just continue giving him more weeks. But let's take it one week at a time. So for this week, let's just continue streaming for him, buying. Let's try to request on radio. So, but I think it will primarily be carried by streams and sales. So let's continue doing that. It has been 6 months and he's still there. So let's give Jimin 4 more months. It would be great if he's still there by the time that they get discharged. It will be fantastic. I hope that we do that. And then Jimin and Jungkook are actually nominated for Best Favorite on Screen for their Are You Next TV series and travel series. It's also, I think, the most streamed for the fourth quarter of 2024, I think, in Disney Plus. So if you want to visit, you just go to this. Sorry, if you want to vote, because that is voting based. So if you want to vote, go to this. It is, and then you need to register, and then you can vote. Okay. So there are Jimin is also nominated in other categories that are not fan voted. So just vote for him for favorite lyrics, I think. Where is that? Best lyrics. There you go. Best lyrics for who? Tough competition. So I hope that we can win this for him. And then if you want to vote for K-pop dance challenge, I voted for Le Seraphim. Um, and then what else? Yeah, I think those are the ones where you can vote for. I mean, well, you can vote for other things too, like music video on screen. This is Jimin and Jungkook. And then the others not fan voted. Okay, so if you want to see the other nominees, this is it. If you want to just check nominees, you can go to this website and you will see the nominees for Song of the Year, Pop Song of the Year, Pop Artist of the Year, and others. Okay. So vote if you can, if you have the time. You can vote, I think, once a day. Do we need an account? Yes, you do need to register. But it's just an email address. It doesn't ask you for a phone number. So if you have like a throwaway email address, you can use that one. Just to vote. So I hope you can vote. From what I saw, those did not row or seat numbers today. They started to have actual seat numbers and rows. Less than that, maybe 20. Me Too, for a while, Me Too said Me Too for a while, but don't remember how long. So excited for Jimin, such a doll. I am very, very excited and happy for him. So I hope that we can continue helping him succeed. And let's just continue streaming. And then if you have the budget, buy as well. All right. So before we get there, is there anything that you want to ask about ticketing, about Jimin's song, whatever happens next year, Red BTS tour, but Manfesta this year is going to be huge. It will be huge. Hi, Apo Bangpo. Hybe Hobie should add another date in LA with Stadium as the venue. I didn't try for tickets, but when I was stressed watching my Twitter feed, I have PTSD. Oh my god, you should have said. I was like, someone actually said like, oh, I keep on getting notification. Realized that it's you having anxiety attack on Patreon because I couldn't get tickets. Yeah, I think I just need to make sure that I am not late. I think if I'm on time, I will be able to get tickets. Did Jin's OST come out? Good question. I don't know. Isn't it today? But I think it's later. Jin OST. I see a teaser, but not the OST yet. So no, not yet. They did add more seats to the venue in Korea. They opened another portion, I believe, because tickets sold out really quickly. They opened the obstructed viewing, so there's like you don't actually see the entirety of the stage. So they decided to open that, I guess, because of the demand. I'm grieving on the 26th. Sorry, you're grieving because you didn't get tickets, right? On the 26th. Will there really be tickets tomorrow? Well, that's the question. Uh, they said that there is, they probably, the Bioexplorers, right? They probably intentionally held back some tickets for GP. So, yeah, so yeah, that's probably what they did. They just held back some tickets for GP. I don't have anything stronger. My guess is that for the VIP tomorrow, it's probably going to be more expensive. And I think maybe it's dynamic pricing. They probably realized there is real demand, and so they're going to jack up the prices. Jin OST is this Sunday on January 26th. Great birthday present from Jin to me. Oh, happy birthday. Sylvia, I'm trying not to think about BTS. Comeback today was just on another level with Hobie, and there are six more like him. The comeback is stress just thinking about it. You know what? The one thing I'm pretty sure they're going to do all stadium for BTS. I mean, it's going to be really, really unreasonable for them to not do stadium for BTS, but I hope the future tours of the other soloists, when it's their turn to tour, I hope that they actually do stadiums. I mean, I understand that they want something intimate, but come on now. Come on, don't put us through the same thing, the same stress that we're going through. Okay. Ticketing is stressful, period. It is, yes. Okay, so some people are actually asking, this is a request. Some people are asking, like, why are there very few concerts that go to surgeries, even though specifically this is about BTS, because BTS is popular in many other countries, like for example in India, but they've never been there, and it's only lately that international acts actually started going to India. But then there's also Africa; they are barely visited by musical acts. So for us to understand, let's first understand how an artist actually gets paid when they do a tour. Usually, they do per show. So an artist will already, in their contract when they tour, they already set their price. For example, in the Las Vegas residency of U2, they earned 1 million every day. Every day that they have a concert, they earn 1 million. And then the last time that they toured, it's the same thing. And I think it's the same thing for Ed Sheeran when he did his world tour. It was per concert. So flat fee, and then he doesn't care, but like if you earn more, then that's your, like for the promoter of the concert, if you earn more, then that is yours, but I demand 1 million. That's what happens. Now they said that it's actually a little different for the Eras tour of Taylor Swift, because she got paid um based on the ticket sales. um so depending on how much she, well, this is hearsay, she will never confirm it. She had the minimum, and then anything over and above a certain amount, she gets a portion of that. So for example, in Era Store, this Forbes article states that um Swift has grossed nearly 110 million. This was early in her tour. 110 million from this performances so far, after paying concert promoter, Messina touring group, and production costs. Okay, so after paying all of them, she has 110 million on her hand. But that's not what she'll personally deposit in the bank. She still has to pay taxes, expenses. Her manager usually gets 10%. If you have an agent, that's another 10%. And then you have taxes and whatever. And taxes probably about 20 to 30%, depending on your how you're paying your taxes and whatever. So when the bills are paid, Forbes actually estimated that she had earned roughly 30 million from the Eras tour performance. This was early in the, I think not even first half of the tour. So she net her net worth went up 780 million. Okay. So that's how they get paid. Knowing that they either have a minimum or they have a set talent fee, a fee for a concert tour. The promoter will then have um, a target for the gross amount that they need to earn, right? So for every concert, they need to sell a certain number of tickets and or get sponsors in order to make sure that the artist is paid and that they pay all the expenses. Okay. So how do they know if there is street market demand? They have different tools, different research tools. The most important as of the moment is streaming and sales data. So artists and their teams check different streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and Billboard charts to see where their music is most streamed and most purchased. So if you would remember, Spotify Wrapped actually featured um, different cities in the world and what are the top songs that were being played. So now we know that for Saudi Arabia, it's Who. Number one is Who. Um, Iraq, it's also Who. Number two is Standing Next to You. Number five is Like Crazy. Uh, seven is number three. So based on this, we kind of know that, okay, so for Saudi Arabia, we know that Jimin and Jungkook are popular and Taeyong. Um, Now, the thing that we do need to consider is that the other members of BTS did not release any song this year except for RM. So, but for the period it was being measured, these are the ones that went on top. So this is actually a very important indicator for the management companies and for the promoter. And that is why um, they they want to remain faithful to the data as much as possible. That's why they don't like VPN, for example, because it does not reflect accurate information as to how popular an act is in a certain country. So it could mislead their data. So they might think that there are 10 million streams from the US when in fact there were only 500, and the rest it was just VPN trying to help their artists get to the number one spot of Billboard Hot 100. So they try to do it as accurately as possible when it comes to the geography of users. Okay, so that's one. Next is the economic considerations. Artists and of course their teams check Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, and Billboard charts to see where their music is most streamed and purchased. Sorry. Okay. So for example, in this is an article about the concert industry, live music industry, or live performance industry in India. So they said this talks about the different hindrances as to why an artist doesn't usually go to India for a concert. And that includes economic reasons, lack of infrastructure, meaning they don't have venues that can actually meet the demands of many international artists. And we will go further into that in a bit. Nigeria is another consideration. That's another consideration in Nigeria. They are saying that tickets are actually getting more and more expensive. So, for example, a ticket in the US here. Okay, so this is this is a quote from the article about India. So Vardan says, Vardan, I think, is the promoter from a concert promoter. He owns one of the companies that promotes concert, and he said that in the West, a ticket for an A-list star is priced $100 onwards. This is very cheap, but this was also quite an old article. So he said that in the US, that's $100 onwards. That's how much a ticket will cost. Um, Tickets in India is about 1,500 their currency, not the US currency. So the difference is so huge that there is absolutely no way an artist will come here and earn only a tenth of what they're usually earning when they are doing shows in the US. Now, they can't go up and match the ticket price of US because they don't have the economic means to do so. So that is the biggest hindrance for them. There may be a demand, but they can't pay for it. They can't afford paying for the ticket. Now, another thing that they measure is through another way they measure the demand or ticket sales in advance is through concert pre-registration and ticket waitlist. Now, in for BTS, they do it via Weavers. That's why they ask you to put your country or phone number. That's why it's important for them to know where to deliver your goods because it tells them where the concentration of the fans are. Okay. Another thing that they do need to consider is local promoters and venue partners. Okay, so back to that article, it says that Wizcraft is a concert promoter in India, and they said that the challenges remain boggling. The logistics, security, licenses, and red tape. Okay, licenses and red tape. You do need to deal with that if you're a concert promoter because you do need to get fees, permits, from the government, and there is red tape in any country that you go to. So all of these things hinder the artist and the concert promoter from going into a country. Also, they need local promoters, meaning they need somebody in the area that will get the word out and make sure that the tickets are getting sold. Okay, that's one. Or that they can get sponsors that will cover the cost even before sales tickets are getting sold. For example, even before tickets are sold. So for example, Taylor Swift Eras Tour was actually presented by Capital One. It's one of the major sponsors of Eras Tour, Capital One. So they paid a lot of money. So the For example, they shouldered the $1 million. For this is just an example that Taylor Swift is asking for. Then whatever they sell in when it comes to the tickets, that's just an additional income for them. That's net revenue for them because they've already paid half of what they need to pay for capital expense. Um, for Beyonce's Renaissance tour, Lexus was a partner, and so was Tiffany and Co. Okay. So this sponsors, this company, since they were the sponsor of the tour, then they pay a certain amount because it's advertising for them. So that's an advantage for the promoter if somebody's going to sponsor because they are paying in advance. Whatever they sell for tickets, that is additional income for them, or at least they have less bills to pay because part of it will be already covered by the sponsor. Okay, so if you're a promoter a promoter of a concert in a country, or if you are the manager of an artist, you want guaranteed sales, right? So you want to make sure that when your artist goes on the stage, it's actually sold out. So guaranteed sales is what they want. Now, again, if your country does not have the means to pay for expensive tickets, then how can you guarantee a sold out concert? You won't, right? Okay. Next is industry report and market research. So before anybody goes into a venue, a country, a city, they make sure that they have an industry report that will give them an indication whether or not there are fans that are willing to pay for concert tickets to watch the act. Okay, so for example, um, now that India is actually slowly opening their country or at least starting to become attractive to international players, they come up with research materials to prove to different acts that it's now good for them to come to India for a stop. The Coldplay concert that just happened, it's a case study for them because they sold out the venue. So, and the ticket price wasn't bad. So now they can present it to other acts and say, you have a market here and the market can pay. Okay. There is an increase of 18% year on year, and they now have a total of 30,687 live events, but 99.5% of that, sorry, 89.5% of that is are actually local artists. Yeah, Coldplay sold it out 4 times. The other thing is logistics. In India, it's a headache to do live concerts because they don't have venues that can support the technical demands of concerts of different artists. If you would remember, one of the most ambitious ever set up ever made is actually the concert of Suga. It was divided into 6 different platforms, and one platform would race in different stages of the venue. Sorry, in different stages of the concert, right? So halfway one, another, after 3 songs, another one goes up. Not all venues can actually support something like that. You want to make sure that it is safe. After all, Suga is under that platform, right? He's performing. So you don't want that falling or anything like that. So it has to be secure. And then just the technical capacity to actually have that kind of a stage go up. So, many venues, they said, according to the article, in India, it's rare that there is a venue that advanced. It seems so simple, but it's actually very advanced. Next is local talents. Not so, for example, for Beyonce, she likes keeping the same dancers throughout her tour, which is easier for her because she's only touring in the US. But if you're somebody like Taylor Swift, who's actually touring around the world, or Coldplay, then that becomes a little bit more complicated because if you have, for example, 30 people, 30 dancers in your team, you're going to have to fly and arrange for accommodation and arrange their visa for each of that, right? So if it's a complicated process for you to process the visas of everybody, and you're a Beyonce who will not compromise and want the same team all throughout, then might as well not do it in that country. The other option, so Yoongi also did this, like he had each of obviously he had each of the members of his band travel with him all over the world. In the entire tour, he actually was just with one set of group, one set of one band. So they had to arrange for accommodation, for work visa. And then the other thing is, if for example an artist is actually willing to swap out dancers, for example, and look for local talents. Is there enough local talent that can actually perform at the level that you are expecting it? If you're a Beyonce, that's very very hard to do because she has a certain level of energy and skill that she's always looking for in her live performances, and she's Beyonce, so she can demand something like that. The other thing is infrastructure, which I kind of already mentioned here with Suga, for example. It has to be ready for you. The venue has to be ready. And it's not just the setup of the stages, but also the sound. Is it going to sound exactly like how you want it to sound? Or is it going to it will it provide you the kind of support that you need? Okay. The other thing is taxes and red tape, which I already mentioned. I know that not many actually talk about it, but there are a lot of countries who require for things to move, you need to pay them outside of the usual legal fees. And there are a lot of countries like that. Um, and it's different if the red tape is kind of organized. If you already know who you need to pay under the table, then it's easy that way. But we have encountered where you have to pay somebody to get things done, to get things approved, but nobody will tell you who you need to pay. And that is the worst situation because you're like, I'm willing to pay, just tell me who it is that I need to bribe. But yeah. Um, okay. So another thing is security. I'm reading your message, Mickey. I'll respond to you in a bit. Okay, and Bang Luna is actually here. I think she's still here. Okay, so but I saw your message. All right. The other thing is security. There are and it's not just security for the artist itself, right? But that is a consideration. You do need to secure the artist. But the other thing is that you need to secure everything else, um your equipment. When what's his name, who's this performer who likes play, Elton John, when he tours, he brings his piano. He brings his, and I heard that it's uh the purple piano that he likes bringing, and it is that one piano. So you do have to make sure that the country has the infrastructure and this enough security to make sure that you do not lose that piano. If you're a performer like Elton John, you're very particular about your stuff. Okay. And then political instability is a factor. Nobody wants to perform in a country when there is unrest, when it is not stable. Then there is no need to risk the life and the safety of the artist. Okay, the last thing is the schedule of the artist. You can't force an artist to go to a place when the schedule won't permit it, right? Like, for example, for J Hope, we know that he has to be back by June. I'm assuming that he wants to rest before before the reunion of the seven. So it's going to be a grueling 3 months for him. I'm assuming that he has other things going outside of the tour. So putting another continent in his schedule will have to be a, it's a perfect storm, essentially. So there's a lot that needs to come together for to make it possible. And the same thing is true in other parts of uh, of of Asia. He can't tour every country because it has to come together in his schedule. So, if, for example, this is just an example, he wants to go to India and there is a location, it's the only location where it's going to work, but it's not available in view of his general schedule, then he can't go. So, we do need to understand that um, we need to give J Hope some leeway when it comes to him not being able to go to every country where we want him to visit. He's limited with time. We don't know his real intention behind this concert. Maybe he's trying things out for a bigger concert after the reunion of BTS, right? So maybe that's why he prefers smaller venues, because he wants to try things out. For it's going to be his first tour that is just his. So he's going to experiment a lot. He's going to learn a lot of things about the countries, about performing alone, and all of those stuff. So that's, in other words, let's cut him some slack when it comes to the venues. And when it comes, I'm disappointed because I wasn't able to get tickets yet. I'm manifesting I will get it too. I will get some for LA. um but let's be easy on him, and like, let's try to just celebrate that he's actually doing a tour, instead of continuously criticizing him for not dropping by a certain country or a certain continent. uh, let's try to make the positive and the celebration louder than the disappointment. I understand that a lot of people are disappointed, especially with the prices of the tickets and stuff. And there is a way to get that across. But I hope that out there, the bigger voice would be the celebration. The other thing is, let's do consider that inflation actually affects the ticket prices. Uh, and I know that especially in the US, there's like, oh, inflation is 3%, it's lower than 5. It isn't. It's actually higher. It's just that they've manipulated the way inflation is actually being measured so that it appears lower. So it's natural for things to be more expensive. And I know that the concern is that not everybody has the financial capability to actually buy those tickets that are so expensive. But they also cannot sell it for lower because they have bills to pay. And I mean the artist and the production company. So the artist has to earn enough, and then he needs to pay people, and then of course the organizers and everybody else, they need to earn. So it is obvious and it is to be expected that ticket prices are going to be more expensive. All right. So a lot of people are asking for live stream. I'm also hoping for a live stream. But first, before the live stream, I am just hoping for a ticket in LA. The Buy Explorer shareholders need to be happy too. Shareholders need to be happy, investors, the company. And I was like, also remember, J Hope has to earn as well. It has to be worth his while, right? I mean, we can't lowball him too much. He needs to feel, and I'm speaking like an artist or an employee, not even just an artist, but just an employee. You have to pay me my worth, what I think I am worth. Otherwise, it won't be worth my while. So J Hope himself has to earn, and he has to earn enough money, like the amount that he thinks he deserves. And then the company has to earn, the people that will be working in the concert has to earn, and of course the organizers have to earn. Okay, you can do it for yes, I'm manifesting. I'm gonna try and do what Bang Luna did. Okay, look, he cannot perform. Okay, maybe he should have a concert where Coachella Festival holds their concert. The weather is great and more armies can attend. Plus, it is down the street from where I live. You're in Palm Desert? Wow. People need to stop it. You want to see him, then you spend the money. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I perfectly understand why that some people would want to see them and they don't necessarily have, like, some people would actually save their entire life to see one artist, and then and then you go to the ticketing and it's just not enough, so it is very heartbreaking. But you also have, as I've said, you have to consider that people need to get paid, people need to earn. Do guest artists get paid too if come to your concert? If so, how much? So yes, some of it. Like for example, I think this is just my guess. I don't know if I'm right, but I think the BTS members weren't paid in Suga's concert. I think that was like, just, I'll do this for you, my brother, or something like that. um Maybe they got a gift or something, but other artists, yes, they do get paid to appear. If you have a job, hello from Alberta, hello. If you have a job, you don't go to work for free. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's why talking about, like, J-Hope has to earn, and he has to earn enough, and then everybody else too. Everyone who's going to work for the concert, the director, choreographers, production, all the way to the production assistants, they do need to get paid, and do understand inflation exists and inflation is real. So I know people are going to say it used to be like $200. Why is it 500 now? Inflation. Prices don't stay the same. I think not all such posts are by real armies, maybe haters trying to pull him down, pretending to be armies. Definitely. Definitely. What do you think are the chances of the LA show being relocated? I don't think the chances are very low because it's in the middle of the city. It's in the middle of the city. If things so something scary, actually, not really scary, but kind of weird. During the height of the fire here. So I'm in the city. I'm in, like, in the middle of Koreatown and downtown. And sorry, middle of West Hollywood and downtown. So it's like in the middle of the city, and then we got this notification from the county of LA, saying that we need to evacuate. And I'm like, in the city has to evacuate? If the city is on fire, this this state is in trouble. Like, this can't be real. And so true enough, like, after half an hour or an hour, I think. They texted us all back saying that it was a mistake and was whatever. It's so like, how are they going to get, it's not impossible. Weirder things have happened. Stranger things have happened. So but it's just like the chances are really, really low. So that being relocated, that's very low chances. I don't see anything wrong with the ticket prices. The drama there really confused me. Are you going to try for LA? NK, Apo Bangpo is, oh, sorry. Someone is asking if you're going to try for LA. We got 4 tickets, StubHub, 985 NYC, got into Ticketmaster, but as I was about to pick out, tickets sold in 200, but happy to be in the building. 4 tickets, that's not bad. 985 in total, that's not bad. NK, can you get a ticket on place like StubHub, or will there be resale tickets on Ticketmaster? I'm new to this, but I got my ticket to Suga on StubHub and it worked great, not overpriced. They are the greedy child. I wish would disown me. Okay. Okay, any questions? Simply Cherry, I will keep fingers crossed. Than for Phoenix. You mean for BTS concert? We are not really on much social media, so I don't have a lot of connections to get resale tickets. I got my finger toes crossed and I don't have to give them any extra money when I do my taxes. Sylvia said. Okay. Do you have any questions about tours, how tours are organized? The disappointment hit me harder than I expected. Disha Jetly said, I mean, Jin was saying J Hope was asking for an expensive fee when he appeared on Ranjin. Everybody says that Suga is the king of BS. It's actually Jin. He's the king of BS. He would just say whatever comes into his mind, no matter how implausible that may be. And he would like, this, that. Maybe that's why he's very like he and Suga actually get along really well because they both are very good at BS. Me too, but I have Sylvia said me too, but I have a feeling I'm going to have to. They suck. Who Ticketmaster? Okay. Elizabeth said Bethany Frankie said please take into consideration Palisades workers, emergency response, medical staff, and average citizens may not be able to afford tickets due to the fire. Banksy in PH, I checked 17's latest concert. In all fairness, yes, so there's a lot of rebuilding that's going to happen. I think one of the major problems with the fire is that State Farm, which is one of the biggest, if not the biggest home insurance companies. They are insurance company. They do a lot of insurances, and one of that would be home insurance. They actually left California, so they actually got rid of many of their clients because they needed to increase their prices. So what happened was that they wanted to the California sort of changed the minimum of what they need to insure. So State Farm and all other insurance companies, they said you need to insure a certain amount as a minimum. And uh, State Farm said, okay, we're going to have to increase our prices because there's a lot of stuff happening in California. Number one, this country likes building cardboards for houses. I think I've mentioned this. So one of the things that really surprised me is that when I got here is that houses are actually made of wood and styrofoam. So it's like why are houses actually cardboards? In the Philippines, which is far more earthquake prone, we actually build concrete houses. And I thought like it should be fairly easy since like a one-story house, I think you can build an earthquake proof one-story house. Now, there will be earthquakes that are just going to be really devastating, but for the most part, you should be able to do that. Like we have. Good night, Jessica. So State Farm moved out, and then they got rid of all the, so they did not renew a lot of their clients. And so many of those who caught fire, they don't have insurances. That's their main problem. They don't have insurances. So it's going to be harder for them to, they were still looking for something. And so they're going to find it very hard to rebuild because they don't have insurances. Now, that aside, FEMA, I heard, has been great. So FEMA is the like emergency response team, not emergency response, but they provide assistance to those that are hit with calamities. So I heard that they're actually providing housing and temporary housing to people who lost their houses. So now, while they are, of course, that's not going to last forever. So the people who lost their homes and whatever will have to rebuild on their own. So they need to call their insurances and stuff. California is gonna fall into the ocean, Danji said. uh, mm, Probably. Building blocks, aka cinder blocks, with cement and steel, keeping it together would solve a lot of the disaster issues in this country. Yeah, there's this famous picture in Malibu, I think. Um, all the houses were burnt down, and then there's this single house that were still standing, and it was concrete. So it's not like, I mean, building houses in like concrete houses, that won't solve everything, but at least you're not going to, this thing, you know, it's not going to happen. FEMA is now under the one that can't be named. Who? Who's the one that we can't, that can't be named? Monolithic builds make so much more sense. FEMA is a hit and a miss. I heard that too. Like I heard they were horrible in North Carolina and in Florida, but in, so far, the people that I know who lost their houses, they've been of help. It's not perfect at all. It's not perfect, but they're helping. And the hotels are helping to house those impacted as well, which is why Fire Aid does not want people flying in for the concert. Okay, got it. So yes, so there were actually some, like there's this group, like a musical act who just rented an entire hotel um for people, like, for, if you like, they would give you 2 months free stay, and they were the ones paying it. So I know some people who were hit hard by the fire, and they got help from those people. Starts with T and ends with ump. Trump. uh, oh, is that why they're shaping up? Because he's ordering them around. My business got hit by the tornado and had the hardest time getting help from FEMA. Are you from Florida? Yeah, I heard that they were horrible in Florida. Apo Bangpo. Good night, Apo Bangpo. Good night. Fairy you know the one thing. Let let call him thing. You know the one thing. Is it Trump? Well, if this is his doing, I mean, FEMA doing things for, so far they've been helpful. As I've said, it's not perfect, that they've been helpful. So if this is him, if this is his doing, that they're doing it, then that's good. Um, but I do understand why you're saying it's a hit and miss, because they were horrible in North Carolina and Florida. So no other way around. The aid will decrease, but politics. Yeah. Okay. I have one more topic. Do you want to do one more topic? Share your Forza, yes. Prayers for California. I heard a new fire north of LA was burning. Yes, north of LA. It was across our office. How was it him? He just got into the office. No, someone said that it was him. That wasn't me saying it. I was reading comments. Yes, his losing paper towels and CI fire. Okay, let's discuss. This is actually another request. Someone asked me to on music video because they felt that it was so out of place in terms of the Bangtan universe. A lot of people can't believe the interpretations that other websites and other so content creators were putting forward about the music video. They can't believe that it is biblical, because BTS were never like very religious. They weren't very religious people, so they can't believe that the music video would actually have some biblical references. So you've never watched On Music Video? Urban Squirrel, you've never watched you've never watched it, the On Music Video? Whoa. You have to watch it. So this is this there's it's really good. So do remember that this is a part of the Map of the Soul, right? So it and Map of the Soul was supposed to be a three-part series, just like everything else. It was supposed to be a three-part series. They had to cut it short, because they were going to go on their solo careers. They were going to go on a break and then pursue solo careers. And then COVID happened. They were going to go on a tour and then break and then enlist. So good night, Bang Luna. So that is the layout basically of this entire thing. So Map of the Soul deals with the Jung psychology, right? So there's that's why the intro, and then the middle interlude, and then the outro, it was persona, shadow. Am I right? So first it was very internal. They were examining something very internal. They were trying to find who they are. I'm assuming that everyone knows the Jung psychology, right? I'm gonna assume that. Okay, so I'm gonna assume that you know the Jung psychology. So they started with a very internal examination of who they were. That is the entire journey of Map of the Soul. It was mapping their soul. So by the time they got to On, so they started examining themselves in Map of the Soul persona. By the time they got to Map of the Soul 7, they were closing that chapter of themselves. They were closing that chapter of their lives. So the On music video was actually about renaissance. It was about rebirth, closing the old and starting the new, ending the old one, concluding the old part of their lives, and then starting with the new one. Okay. All right. So why is there a lot? Number one question I get is that, is it true that there's a lot of biblical references and movie references? What a lot of people don't understand is that a lot of the elements in movies are actually taken from the Bible. And it doesn't, this is a personal view. It doesn't matter to me if you're Christian or whatever. I think it's great to read the Bible because it is a great book. Like there's a lot of great stories in there. This- in the same way, like I read the Quran just because I want to know what's in there. I read the manifesto of Buddha because I want to know, like, if there's anything, any Hindu friend of mine that recommends any Hindu reading, I read it because I just want to know what's in there. The same thing is true with the Bible. It is a really good book of different stories. In fact, it's so good that all the plot points ever used in any kind of Hollywood movie, you can find it in the Bible. That's how rich literature wise the Bible is. Okay. Um, so Carla Girl, even Harry Potter said, Carla Girl said, even Harry Potter has a biblical reference. So, um, so yes, so there, I think it is good, even if you're not a Christian and you don't believe in God or whatever, for you to read the Bible because it's just literature wise, it is a good reference. So this is no different from that. Because the Bible itself is one, it actually sort of traces the kind of narrative that BTS has, where in BTS, like every music video, every song, every teaser, every book is in a story on its own, right? That's how they do it. Like if you watch the music video, that's a story on its own. And then if you interpret everything, if you put together the different materials, it builds one into a one cohesive big story, an epic. That is the way BTS has built, and that is the way the Bible is structured. Every chapter, every book is a story on its own, and then if you put them together, it builds one grand story. Okay. So, for example, this reference, the dove that was dying, it actually references the Leviticus 5 7 to 10. In ancient Israel, doves or pigeons are actually used as a sacrifice, as atonement. I think it was supposed to be a lamb, but there are people who can't afford the lamb, and so they can just catch a bird, either a dove or a pigeon, and that will be their offering. So that is the symbolism of that one. In Matthew 3, verse 6, there's also a dove when Jesus was baptized. So, so according to the book, the Holy Spirit descended on him like a dove. So there's always a reference in the Bible that mentions the dove. Okay, this is so obviously Noah's Ark, right? So obvious. You have the ark, and then you have the animals, and it's very, very clear in the Bible that that the God the Father actually told Noah to get the animals in there, which they said is symbolism. But this entire thing is very much Noah's Ark. Now, in the Bible, they said that when so that there is flood, what Noah did was set the dove free the first day, because the dove couldn't find a place to land, it went back. So they know that the flood isn't over yet. Second day, it went back again, but it took longer. On the third day, when he set the dove free, it didn't come back, meaning there is dry land. So that's how they knew. Okay. Um, and that was in Genesis 8, 8 to 12. Okay. This is one of my favorite parts when Jimin was looking at the boy who was actually bald and he was drumming. Well, he had the drums because a lot of people did not understand that, and there was like I saw a reference in a certain movie or whatever, um, which again they may be right. This element was probably used by different movies, but again, many of the elements being used in Hollywood movies can be found in the Bible. So it's actually about David and the drummer boy. Okay, this is a very specific story in the Bible. First Samuel 16, um, First Samuel 16 to 23. They said the Bible said, whenever the Spirit of God came to Saul, which is Paul, David would take up his lyre and play. Then relief would come to Paul. He would feel better, and the evil spirit would leave him. So David, as a young boy, actually played music to King Paul, Saul, or Paul, demonstrating the power of music to heal and inspire, which is very much attached to the message of BTS. This part is actually the wall of Joshua or Jeremiah. So this is when in the Bible the wall actually crashed. Here it opened, but it happened almost exactly as the Bible said. So when he blew the horn, the wall crashed, and it is in Joshua 6 verses 20. When the trumpet sounded, the army shouted, and at the sound of the trumpet, the wall collapsed. So everyone charged straight, and they took the city. So that's why they actually were leading everybody else towards the wall, on the other side of the wall. It was found also in Leviticus 25, 9 to 10. Then have the trumpet sounded everywhere on the 10th day of the 7th month. On the day of atonement, sound the trumpet throughout your land. Consecrate the 50th year and proclaim liberty throughout the land in its inhabitant. There is also a reference about the blind girl. And this was on John 9, 1 to 3. So there was a blind girl, and everyone thought that she was blind because the parents were sinners. So they said, oh, that's what you get, you're being punished because the parents were sinners, so you are the punishment. And God, Jesus Christ, actually rejected that and said, no, it just happened. Some in some On some people or in some situations, it is when it is the hardest that you will know God is real, because he can perform the miracle on the person. So the story teaches that blindness, both physical and spiritual, can be healed through faith and revelation. So the answer to the question, with biblical, yes, the entire music video is biblical. um does it mean that there are religious? No, it doesn't mean that exactly. It just means that Bible is such a rich reference of stories. And again, I will repeat, there has been no story that you cannot find in the Bible. Like the structure will be in the Bible, certain elements that they use will be in the Bible. So it's still a great piece of literature to read, even if you do not believe in Christ or God or anything. So um the just like the Bible, where it ends, right? The idea of the Bible is that it explains to you the beginning and then it ends to start your life. That is what this part of their discography is. They were supposed to close that chapter and start a new one, because they were going to do individual activities and then they were going to enlist, but COVID happened. I thought it was pretty obvious of its reference. I know, but a lot of people kept on saying, no, it was taken from this movie, from this whatever. And like, maybe it was taken from that movie, but that movie definitely referenced the Bible. And many of those stories are older than the Bible. So you don't think that the scene refers to the Tin Drum by Gunter Grass? No, as I've said, maybe, but they definitely reference the Bible. It's very clear that story is in the Bible. That child who plays music for King Saul or Paul, that is on the Bible. That child who was blind, that's also on the Bible. It amazes me to see all of these Christians in the room. Parts of the Bible were from older myths too, like Gilgamesh. Pride Rock from The Lion King. Excuse me, believers in the room. Watcher, please don't go hating on BTS because of this. Okay, please. Okay. We can I I just want to repeat. It doesn't mean that I think RM has been pretty clear that he's an atheist, right? He's said that many times, and I think he continues to say it, that he's an atheist. So obviously, the mere fact that it is the Bible doesn't affect the decision he made to do the music video. It takes appreciation of the arts to actually understand it, right? There's a lot of great stories in there, so it's a great piece of literature to read. In the same breath, I read a lot of Buddha stuff because I think it's helpful. I read the Quran because I think, because it helps me to know what is their teaching. I don't like misunderstanding people. I don't like misunderstanding religion and faith. I certainly do not like judging other people based on what other people are saying. So I would rather read it because I know I want to understand other people's faith. So I read it. Does it mean I'm a Muslim? No, I just like reading. So in the same way, we need to get rid, and I think that's one, and that's an important lesson that we need to learn from BTS. They themselves don't judge, so we shouldn't. And they themselves don't discriminate, so we shouldn't, right? um Unlike some Christians, many other spiritual or religious people do not demand exclusivity. Yeah, and then I think, yes, I agree. And then a lot of other religions also demand exclusivity, but there are religions who don't demand exclusivity. I think Buddhism, for example, is very tolerant of other religions. Buddha himself never said that he is God. So as Muslim, I appreciate that. Sure. I mean, I think I've mentioned this before, that one of the very best friends that I had here in the US is actually a Muslim. And a lot of people are shocked when I say this. Like, I have a mother and I help raise a child, but I trust him so much that I would put the life of my mom and my niece on his hand, because I trust him that much. And that kind of understanding won't happen, and if I did not try to understand his faith, right? So the more you understand of other people's faith, the more you understand the person, then the easier it is for you to get rid of all the stereotypes that you hear. So when people tell you this, Christians are bad, or Muslims are bad, or Buddhists are bad, or Hindus, study yourself. You have to study for you to learn. There are levels to atheism. Thank you. I was about to point that too. I believe there is truth in all religions. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam have a lot in common. It's all the same God. And in the same breath, yeah. So yes, you actually said it. Yes. So there's a lot of, you will be surprised with the commonalities between religions once you try to understand everything. At the end of the day, it's all about believing in something more powerful and bigger than you are, and believing in other and loving other people as much as you can. That, I think that's one thing that I've learned that all religions have in common. That's actually the teaching. You do need to believe in something more powerful than you are and bigger than you are, and that you need to love other people as much as you can. Buddhism is not a religion, yes, as I said that, and Buddha himself does not claim to be God. Those rocks in the video are the Vasquez rocks north of LA and have been in many shows and movies, especially Star Trek. I hiked them as a kid. Faith and love. Yes, lots of Christian rituals and things come from paganism. True. But I think it's the same. Whenever somebody tells me about, like, oh, why do you even bother when this came from, like, the origin is evil, for example, the origin is evil. I do believe in evolution. So I can't hold myself to what happened in the past forever. So for example, um the swastika is an example, the one that the symbol that was found in that people saw RM wearing on his uniform. If I just stick to, I know that it's a traumatic symbol for a lot of people, but then I cannot not respect the Hindus for their belief, right? So I can't pin myself on a single event that happened. Have you read Mahabharata and Ramayana? Not yet. I do. My friend who's a Hindu actually gave me a reference, like a something to read about it. But I'm not that. It's big. It's long. Not big. It's long. Super long. He just doesn't believe it because it's hard to believe in something that you cannot see or is tangible, and that doesn't make him evil. He is a good person, definitely. I don't think we are in the right position to judge anybody. I'm pretty sure we shouldn't be judging other people, um, regardless of the religion that you believe in. Um, the God in that religion, I'm sure, reserves the right for judgment to himself, right? So I'm a Baptist and we aren't religious. Intention means a lot. It was maybe RM is religious now since he's working in the army as a chaplain. No, I don't know. But I mean, I have no idea. RM wore that on his lapel. Yeah, I believe that when you're in the army, you have a religious, not a religious, I guess, yeah, you can call it a religious, you have a religious job. Like there's a certain part of your work that is actually on religion. And the majority of South Koreans are actually Buddhists, or a lot of South Koreans are actually Buddhists. People need media literacy. I don't believe that you can still make analogies to life with the stories and come to your own conclusions. But you can still make analogies to life. Well, definitely, yes. Definitely reading and studying. But you have to do it yourself. You can't rely on what you see on social media. Remember that social media is designed to give you what you want to hear or read. So then you develop a bias instead of actually being able to study both things. That's why, like, if you're a liberal, your tendency, if you're on social media, you will lean more liberal because the algorithm is going to continuously feed you with liberal stuff. In the same way, if you're a conservative, the social media and online will continue feeding you with conservative stuff. So then you become more. When I think the right thing to do is that if you're a liberal, they give you conservative. If you're a conservative, they give you liberal. Then somewhere in the middle is the truth. No one has the right to judge. RM volunteers at the temple. That is why the patch. It doesn't mean he's leading people in a religion. True. And he consulted a monk before he enlisted, remember. But then, as I've said, Buddhism is not a religion. RM went to speak to monk in a temple. Oh, yeah, that's what I said in the military. And he now wears a Buddhist chaplain patch on his uniform. Night, everyone. Congrats to those who got tickets. Good night, Ophelia. Did I miss the meaning of darkness after Jungkook blows the horn thing? Um, so it's connected to the Joshua Jericho wall, the wall that broke down. So the horn was sound. They blew the horn, and then the wall broke down, and that was the sequence in the music video, and that's the sequence in the story in the Bible. We just need to be respectful of each other's beliefs. Good night. Thank you. RM has an insight that is ancient Buddhist based symbol, but is often misrepresented as a symbol appropriated by the Nazi. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, me, I'm going to keep repeating this. Buddhism is not a religion, and you don't have to believe in God to be a Buddhist. Yes, Buddhism is not a religion. Buddha himself does not claim to be a god. We can all choose. It's healthy to be able to appreciate our differences and still love and respect each other. I just want to tell the story because I do have a friend who's a Hindu. He is from India. She is from India, sorry. She's a girl. And so I was asking her about um I was asking her about so a story. And then so I told her the truth. I told her the truth that in the Philippines we were told it is mythology and not real story. Like it's not, it didn't happen. Like it was just a mythology. And so I told her that because we were close enough. So I told her, I said, in our country, we were taught that this is a mythology, not something real. And then it took her a while we were texting to text back. And she said, okay. She said, I'm calm now. And the reason I didn't text you back was that she felt so angry hearing what I said, that it was being taught as a mythology rather than a story of faith. And she said, but I understand that you're trying to educate yourself and that's why you're asking me. She said that, but I was just upset and I just wanted to be upfront with you about it. And she said, I'm not upset with you. I appreciate that you told me. So I think that was it was a breakthrough in our communication, right? Because that was a point when we both understood each other. She understood that because of how I was brought up and the education that I had, I will get a lot of things wrong. I will always get a lot of things wrong. And if she allows her emotions to get the best of her, then she will not be able to educate me. Then I won't understand her. But in the same breath, if I wasn't honest to her, if I was just nervous that I was going to offend her or whatever, then I won't learn and I will not be able to understand her. So it was great that she understood it, that she understood that there is this reaction, like emotional reaction from her, but she had the presence of mind to know that, okay, she means well. She means well. And it's not her fault that she got the wrong education. So now that we are connected, we can talk, we can communicate so that we can better understand each other. Now, did she try to convert me to Hinduism? No. She just wanted me to understand her. So I think that's what we just need to understand with each other. We just need to know that um because somebody says something wrong, it doesn't mean that they want to hurt you. It's just that how they just that's what they think was the right thing. So oh yeah, the Dalai Lama says Buddhism is a religion, but we do not believe in a creator God. CC said. Han said, thank you, Fearlene. Good night. Good night. The world needs more of this level of understanding. It is very rare. It is very rare. I have to tell you, it is very rare. Are the fires still happening? This morning up until the afternoon, northern part, there still was fire. I don't know where exactly that is, but we're up north, close to Calabasas, close to there. It's more like Encino, and that's where our office is. And we face east, and there was fire. Too many wars break out over religion. Something just crossed my mind. Mickey said, I recalled the book I read about Buddha, and if RM becomes a monk later on, I don't know. It crossed my mind. I know it's silly. I don't think it is silly at all. No, I when I went to Thailand, so we visited different temples, and I like actually going in a temple and meditating. So we were lucky enough to actually witness a boy being turned over to the monks, because you know that they actually need to be a monk for at least 2 years. So he was being turned over to a monk by his to the monastery by his parents. And so we witnessed him giving up all of his earthly belongings. And then he was given, so there was this ceremony, and then he was given like the bag. And the philosophy is that anything that you cannot fit in that bag, you don't need. Like that's the life that they live as a monk. So it was such a great experience to actually watch it. And then we went to this city, this place where in the morning the monks would go around the city, and you can give them food, water, stuff that they will need for the day. I would cry a lot. I cross my mind. I just envision him sitting there and being happy. I think he would be happy in something like that. But it's quiet, but it's quite possible he has said things in different contexts at different times. I watched the news. They closed the 5 highway. I think it was north of Santa Clarita. It could be Santa Clarita. It could be. The 5 is now open. For those that are not from the US, the 5 is a notoriously, well, actually, it's 405. 5 to the 405, that's like heaviest traffic. Like in LA. If you have to go to 5, if you need to go 5 to the 405 or 405 to the 5, I pity you. Before I go, I love the Zen saying, before enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. After enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. It's what changes on the inside, not the outside. I'm a Zen Christian. That's beautiful. That's such a wonderful thing to witness, a ritual of someone becoming a monk. It is. It is. I can't believe like because they were trying the person who was with us, he was trying to explain like the principle behind the actions. Like him giving up everything and then being given this bag, and then the monk saying that they're everything that you can't fit in that bag you do not need. Imagine doing that, becoming a monk after being BTS tickets, after getting BTS tickets. Sorry. Hope a lot of truth there. Okay, so it's possible that in the particular conversation he was making a point in different context. I don't get to talk to him that long. I did not get to talk to him that long. It'll be like, how much BTS merch can I fit in this bag? You're probably going to carry, be honest, probably going to carry like a huge suitcase. Okay. I'm late, O said. Night, Sharon, good night. The Bio Explorer said, many of us have been with RM for over 10 years. Of course, his thoughts change over time. Don't ours? We all grow, or should. Yeah, of course. Sida, thank you, Fairy Lane, for your live today and the ticketing info. Good night. Good night. Does it matter? It shouldn't affect us. Like I think it should, we all should expect that the boys are going to change over time, right? Many of the things that they used to believe in, they won't believe in anymore. Or the way that they believe in it will change. Army bomb for sure, PCs for each other. I see RM growing and changing. He may shock us all and become a president. RM has really grown up a lot. He has. I mean, all of them. That's what matter changing, I think. Fair Lane, you are so right. I have to take the 405 to work and it's always hell. Oh my God. I pity you. I would never. Like, if I know I'm going to the 405, I just look for an alternative. They are in their 30s now or close to it. It's a huge difference to late teens. I mean, a lot of the things you can see it. I mean, even the way that they act, they have changed so much. The way that they act, I mean, what they choose to let us see, they've changed, right? And I think that's okay. The relationship dynamics have changed. We have watched all the boys grow up, not just physically but mentally and emotionally. Yeah. Yes, Hobie seems changed too. And he said that, it seems that he implied in his, when he described his music, I mean his new album, he said that since he's grown up and he's done with his military, he probably can change, he can show something sexier this time. Like, did you imagine J-Hope will actually say something like that? Jungkook zoning out will never change. And according to Suga, Jungkook being annoying will not change. He will still be annoying when they're 60. I am so proud of the men they have grown into. They are my son's ages. So it feels like they're your sons. Okay. Do you have any questions? I see, so when I see nonsense on Weavers, it cringes me. What does he mean? J Hope has always been sexy to me. I That's what I heard. That's what I just read on his, when he described his album. He said that um since, like, he has changed, like he's done with his military, he has grown up, he has matured. Maybe he can also show something mature, like something sexy, I think is the word that he used. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what he said. JK will also be ADHD symbol. I want to adopt all seven of them, meaning you will start to see things and do things differently. Carla girl said Hobie said he can be sexier now. Yeah, that's what he said, sexy. Okay, it's really going to be different when they start. Yes, he said sexy. Yeah, you see? So I was right. That's what I heard him. That's what I read that he said in an interview. So Hobie's LV fit is so sexy. I think because he realized and owns his age, Mickey said. Yeah. I think we're going to see, even for Jungkook. I mean, I think forever for all of us, Jungkook will always be the maknae. He will always be like our youngest, right? That's our youngest brother. Um, I think for us that won't change, and to a certain extent, like how we see them, we will always expect the old J Hope and the old Jungkook and the old Suga. But I think when they come back, I think we're going to adjust to them the same way they're going to adjust to us again. I think they're going to change. They're going to show. I think there's a just being a part of something bigger than you are changes you. Just being aware that there's more to life than music and art and doing concerts, that there is this side of your country or this side of the world um, that isn't always pleasant is going to change you. I mean, just, I don't know if you guys have ever held a gun. um, i I don't enjoy it. I had to go through training because of a previous work. I don't enjoy it, like, that it's just something that doesn't feel good. And then to be in an environment where there are guns day in and day out, it's like something, it'll shift you. So I think that them being in the military, realizing that there is that side of life and that there is side of that their country, and that they had to be a part of it, I think that will change them so drastically, and we will see it when they come back. So I think they will need to rediscover themselves again, the same way we need to rediscover them, the same way they will need to rediscover us. So I think they will adjust, and I think we will adjust too. They will adjust to us, they will adjust to each other, and then we will adjust to them too. Which I think is going to be great. Like, I think that will also be Army's chapter 3 when they come together again, rediscovering the boys. Um, okay, so someone was asking, so Mickey, all right, so going back to the tickets, so I will ask Bang Luna, I think already went to bed. But the last conversation I had with her, messaging her on Patreon, she said that she will let me, so she has the names of all the people. We just did it first come first serve. That's how we did it. We didn't really choose So the priority was Patreon people. That's why I wasn't able to give any anymore. Well, I was able to give one, I think, to Twitter. The rest was Patreon because that was my priority. So um, she said that she will let me know tomorrow. I think she's gonna want to make sure that everything is correct, and then she will get in touch with you because you need to pay her because that's her. She paid for that. She did send me the the actual receipt, the invoice that she got. So, and then from there, you guys are going to enjoy. So just wait tomorrow. Earlier, it was just a little hectic. So I was like, I couldn't really concentrate in messaging you guys because there's a lot of things happening. I also was trying to get tickets, which I failed to do. So the one on Twitter is also on Patreon. Yes, it's the same thing. The one that I posted on Twitter on X is the same thing as I posted on Patreon. Military is a beast. They have one mind military mentality. So when Hope says he's still adjusting, it's putting that side down. Mickey said, I am not an ex. Okay, that's fine. I mean, the priority has always been the Patreon people. It's our community that will be prioritized. So majority of the people, except for one, I guess, the rest will be from Patreon. Right. I looked twice. So what I will do for LA is I will try to get a box as well and see if I can get one. If not, I'm just going to try to be on time this time tomorrow, and see if I can get a box. Or sorry, as many tickets as I could. And then I will just post on Patreon again. I will prioritize the Patreon subscribers or Patreon community if I get any extra ticket. Okay. Um, Thank you. Thank you for those saying good luck. Do you have questions? Or it's almost, we have about 9 minutes or less. You'll get this time at if I I'm manifesting. You have to do it now if you want a suit for BMO. I called them, yes. I called them earlier. We have some connections because I do some events. So that's why I know all of these things about a concert. I will know tomorrow. My whole life is military for generations. It isn't for everyone, but it also doesn't change everyone in that way. One for Brooklyn, if possible. Okay, I will also try to get uh, as many as I can for New York, but I will prioritize VIP. Will you talk about the article you posted on Patreon next time? What article is it? The one for? Is it which one? Is it the one that RM posted or the one about new jeans? The Bio Explorer. Oh, old shorts. Sure. I mean, the only reason I don't talk about them all that much anymore is because I don't want to give them mentions. um uh Danji, I will go back to it. I guess I think I told you guys that I finally found like a good assistant this time. So she's helping me a lot on others like other things that I need to do. So I'm finally will be able to go back to actually creating more videos. Uh so I will so on the videos like about history, culture, other artists, I regularly post on YouTube, but I will start posting them on Patreon too. I'm hoping for a ticket Monday in Chicago. How do you get VIP packages? Tomorrow, 3 p.m. PST, sorry, 3 p.m. EST, they will open VIP and GP. Those girls just announced they never even had a lawyer advising them at all because they said now they had to get a lawyer. The- I think they do have a lawyer. Just probably indirect or something. I don't think it's very my lipstick has been true. I depend on the person and the other MOS. Oh, those girls, yeah. Yeah, so going back to old shores, the reason I don't talk about them that much is we've had a lot going on for armies for ourselves. from Jimin's Billboard Hot 100 to to Jin's release, now to J Hope's tour. So I feel like we're all so busy. Um, and then like I don't want to give them any more unnecessary attention. I will discuss them. I love discussing these things, as I think I've mentioned to you guys that I am interested in the corporate drama. So for me it's like fun to talk about. So I will discuss them next time, and the business implications of everything that they're doing. uh but yeah, so I do feel though that Mama Roach is really, I don't think she likes it that she's not getting as much attention anymore. And it's going to be and less attention as we come closer to the return of the seven. I mean, as a group together. And I think she's not going to like that. So I do feel that they're going to come up with more like things just because they want to get the attention back, the attention that they've lost. So I think we need to be ready because they're going to do anything and everything that they can to try and disturb our celebration and our peace. So, but yeah, I mean, I enjoyed the corporate drama. So yes, I'll talk about them next in my next live. Wait till his tour starts in South Korea. I know, right? I mean, I feel like there's one more release that's going to happen outside of J Hope. I feel that. I don't know if it's maybe Jen, maybe he's going to do something, or maybe one of the boys that are that the I don't know. They prepared something before. I don't know. But I feel like there's one more release that's going to happen outside of J Hope before the return of the six. Before the return of the five. MHJ's time is running out. BTS comes back in less than 5 months. Yeah, and I think maybe Jin doc. Oh yes, so I definitely think Jin has a documentary coming out. I definitely think that J Hope has a documentary coming out after the tour. um Maybe a single. I don't know. I feel like there's something more. I hope that Jin and J Hope has an exhibit as well. um, or they were just like they said that they had to get legal representation because of Adore's legal filing. I don't believe that they never had legal representation. I think they got legal advice. Probably they don't have a retainer, like a retained lawyer, but I definitely think they got some advice. Some advice. I don't know if it's like a good lawyer that was advising them. Maybe they just want to cover up the fact that I don't know. Two sock duet single. I would love that. I know that they wanted to do like a discharge unit. So I hope they do that. The news on Mama Roach and Old Shorts will practically be non-existent by the time our boys come up. Yeah. I think a lot of people won't even care. Like when they, no matter what happens, like, oh, they won the case, and like, why do we don't care? We're just happy that BTS is back and they're touring or whatever. And Mama Roach is going to hate that. The same lawyer as MHJ. Yeah. I was gonna say maybe they didn't want to disclose that they were being advised by the same law firm as Mama Roach. I will rent a space to Mama Roach and Old Shorts in my head. I will give my space to BTS instead. My Discord friend said now Old Shorts is going to be generating their own tired face palming lawyer memes. Just trying. I don't know with these girls. 5 billion singing contracts, doing ambassadorship. Of course, they had lawyers. What about lawyer at the press conference? They asked you Google. Oh God, I hope it's not Google AI. NJ, perfect timing for J Hope Gala. Coincidence? Okay, so I hope that we all come together to watch the gala. Um, I there's the set list actually leaked. I don't know if you saw it, but his list for the gala in France actually leaked, and it seems good. um, how that one group turned hype. Where can we watch? It's going to be online. So just search on YouTube. It's going to be live online. Is it going to be aired? Where? It'll be on YouTube. Anyone knows how to watch the gala? Okay, I'll find the link since many of you are asking. I'll find the link and I'll post it on my Patreon. So please be a member. Sign up on my Patreon. When is the gala? What time? Tomorrow. Gala. Okay, let's see. Um, okay, 23 February. And let's see what time. 12 a.m. Oh, no. Um, 28 February. 28 here. Wait, let me show you. Oh, no, 23. Wait, the performance will be broadcast on France to 28 January. What? January 23, Thursday. January 23, Thursday. 8:30 p.m. January 23, 8:30 p.m. No, it says January 23, 8:30 p.m. Um, where is it? Here. I will show you so that it's clear. See that? 2025 Yellow Parts Gala program. So the doors is going to be open in the venue. It's going to be open 6:30 and then 8:30 p.m. show begins. This is local time. So Paris time. If they had a lawyer, they either were not talking to them or were not getting any good advice based on the things they were saying. Well, remember, a lawyer cannot force you to do something. They can only advise you, but whatever it is that you end up doing, it's the lawyer's responsibility to make sure that you are guided. So maybe they were being advised not to do certain things and they still kept on doing it. Dayon said, "Hello, my army family. Hi." So let's see. Let us see if we can find the YouTube channel. Danji, good night. Okay, it's not available yet. No YouTube channel yet, but I will post on my Patreon, but it seems that it's going to be the channel is probably going to be France TV, which is the same channel where last year's was actually broadcasted. Thanks so much for spending time with us and answering our exhaustive questions. I appreciate you. No, thank you for joining me. Okay, so we actually passed the 2 hour mark. I was trying to not pass the 2 hour mark. So good night, everybody. Good luck to everybody who's going to go to who will try to buy tickets tomorrow. And I hope that we can all watch the gala tomorrow, the performance of J Hope. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Bye, bye, bye.